Welcome to the deep dive. We take the information you've shared and try to find the clearest, most interesting insights. Today, we're digging into your source material focused on emotional intelligence, specifically in the 21st century.
That's right. And it's fascinating because, for so long, the big focus was IQ, intellectual smarts. The idea was kind of like just be the smartest person in the room and, you'll succeed.
Yeah, exactly. But what your sources are showing is this real shift, isn't it?
A huge shift.
So the goal for this deep dive is really to unpack why emotional intelligence, or EQ, is suddenly seen as so, well, essential for getting by today. Basically, it's about understanding your own feelings, managing them, and then doing the same for other people's emotions too.
hmm
So why now? Why is it such a big deal?
Well, the sources argue pretty strongly that EI isn't just some secondary soft skill anymore. In today's world, especially as you climb the ladder, it's really being seen as a critical hard skill, sometimes even more important than raw intelligence.
Wow, more important than IQ.
Yeah, particularly for managing people, complex situations, that sort of thing.
And there's data in the sources too. EI apparently accounts for 58% of performance across all kinds of jobs. 58%.
A massive number. And get this, another source said 90% of the top performers, they have high emotional intelligence.
90%. Okay, so it's clearly a huge factor. Where does it really show up?
Well, the workplace is a big one. Think about leadership. EI helps leaders build trust, actually inspire their teams, handle change. One source even mentioned emotionally intelligent leaders are something like 45% more adaptable.
45% more adaptable? That's huge today.
Totally. And have you seen this stuff on emotional contagion?
Oh yeah, tell me about that.
It's the idea that a leader's mood, their emotional state, it doesn't just stay with them. It actually, spreads. It infects the whole team's vibe and performance.
Right, so your bad day can become everyone's bad day.
Exactly. Which connects to psychological safety in teams. When people feel safe enough to, speak up, share weird ideas, even disagree respectfully. That safety is a massive driver for innovation. EI helps create that.
Makes sense. And it's not just about work teams, is it? It's personal, too.
Absolutely. On an individual level, EI is key for managing your own stress, building resilience. The sources talk about it being like an internal early warning system for burnout.
An early warning system. I like that. Helping you spot trouble before it gets too bad.
Precisely. And this focus isn't just staying in the office. It's moving into schools, too.
Ah, the social emotional learning, SEL.
Yep. It's about deliberately teaching kids these skills, not just academics, but how to handle life, relationships, setbacks.
Building skills for a meaningful life, basically, not just for a job.
Exactly. Now let's pivot a bit. What about AI?
Okay, yeah. Artificial intelligence. It's amazing at processing data, being efficient.
Uh-huh. But what's it missing? Fundamentally.
Feelings, empathy, real nuanced human understanding.
Right. And that's why these uniquely human skills, especially EI, become even more valuable as automation increases. It's the human edge the sources mention.
But it also creates weird challenges, like in emails or texts,
Yeah.
right? You lose all the tone, the body language.
Totally. Which means we need sort of digital emotional intelligence figuring out how to still connect emotionally when you're not face to face.
Okay, but let's bring in a bit of caution here. Your sources also say EI isn't always good, right?
That's a really important point they make. It's not an unqualified good. We need to look critically.
Because someone with high EI understands what makes people tick.
And they could potentially use that for manipulation, for personal gain, maybe exploitatively.
Yeah, the sources link it to those dark triad traits like
Yeah.
Machiavellianism.
Exactly. Using charm and understanding of emotions to basically get what you want from others.
And there's another risk, isn't there? Focusing too much on the individual.
Yes. If we only focus on boosting individual EI, we might miss bigger problems in the organization itself. It can lead this kind of unpaid emotional labor where some people are just expected to manage everyone else's feelings without support.
Right, smoothing things over constantly.
Yeah.
So, okay. It's powerful, potentially tricky.
Yeah.
But can you actually get better at it? Can you learn EI?
Yes. That's the crucial takeaway from the sources. Unlike IQ, which is relatively fixed, or personality, EI is a developable skill set.
That's hopeful. So training actually works.
It does seem to. The sources mention things like the pause method for managing reactions. Pay attention, acknowledge, understand, shift, execute.
Pause. Okay.
And things like really practicing active listening to build empathy. It takes effort. It's an ongoing thing, not a one-off.
Right, not a quick fix.
Definitely not.
Okay, so let's try and sum up this deep dive. Emotional intelligence is, well, clearly powerful. It's complex, and it seems increasingly essential in our world. It touches everything from leadership to teamwork to how we even cope with AI.
It's a critical tool, maybe even a kind of human superpower. But like any tool, it comes with responsibility. It can create amazing connections and boost well-being. But we have to be mindful of the potential downsides your sources flagged.
Which leads to a final thought for you listening in. Given that AI can be used for connection and manipulation, how do you make sure that as you develop your own emotional intelligence, it serves not just your goals, but also your integrity and helps the people around you? Something to think about.